Hi guys, this is Emnel and we are back playing Mamluks. Now, we have a very tight rebel schedule, as you can see here. We've one almost there, which is going to fire in one of those three provinces, so let's get moving. Another one is going to fire here, and since it's, I believe, what, 10k, we will need to help our allies. You want to always have this on to show subject revolt, by the way. So, I guess this one will do. So let's send this guy there. What's next? We also have an issue with Yemen not being loyal to us. Well, it's well, they are pretty strong. Our diplomatic reputation is shit, and so on and so forth. So. Yeah, it adds up. But, well, if we build up trust with them, it will be better, because, for example, here, well, as you can see, they are also quite powerful, but due to a very high trust, we have minus 14 out of it. So, for now, we don't care that much, but it would be nice to actually have their 7k assist us in some ways, so that is a problem. But there's also another interesting thing. Those of you who, perhaps watched the whole thing back to back or more or close to it, may remember that a few episodes ago we got a pop-up that Poland was influencing Albania, of all people. Well, I smirked and went on with my life, but then, last episode, we also got a pop-up that Ottoman Empire went to war against Albania, of all things, in, 1479, when they started with course on them, so I just, smirked again and, continue with my day. So those who are brighter than me, I won't be surprised to learn that Ottomans attacked Albania, who were allied with Poland, which means they are at war with them, and whole Commonwealth bloc, which is, is good, because they finally went to war with something big that can put some heart on them. But as I mentioned, we have a pretty tight rebel schedule. Also, our allies aren't exactly jumping on the opportunity to attack Ottomans, so which is problematic, as you can see. Attitude towards enemies, so they basically Ottomans buddied up to our allies, so they're not very keen on an offensive war, even if we sell them, even if we cover their debt and so on, which they are in lots of. So, yeah, and at the same time they do have Morocco on their side. So, problem is that, I still think it's a great opportunity to actually stab them in the back, but we'll have to wait those, basically almost 3 years to deal with all the rebels. It's what, for cores alone, let's see, the latest core ends. Yeah, it's 2 years for the course to finish. With that, then we will get minus 5% to, well, more or less, minus 5 points to rebels that we, now get from the overextension. Some of the religious unity will go in, and so on and so forth. So then we will be able to attack them. Now, problem is that, well, we have more or less a parity with Ottomans in terms of army. Poland does not. First of all, they are at military tech 5, because they are yet to accept Renaissance. Well, it's more difficult for them to get it from Italy than for the Ottomans, sadly. And well, we kind of helped. So Ottomans are level 7, by the way. Level 7, as we discussed, is not that important, but well, it adds up. Ottomans will get lower, basically, they will take less damage due to higher military tactics. Lithuania is level 6, so at least there's that. So hopefully Poland will get to level 6 shortly. However, that's not all, because if we take a look at page 15, we will see that Ottomans have pretty nasty generals. So Shock 5, Shock 4 with Maneuver 4, and so on and so forth. So pretty bad. And if we go after positive, let's go Poland. They have, I believe, level like 5, Shock 1 general, yeah, 4-1-3. So yeah, well, I guess he's a defensive planner, but that's not gonna fly. So they may be in a pretty tough situation, and we only will be able to help them in like 3 years. Now, first thing that we want to do is actually invest in fort in Tirana, of all places, because if we end up at war with Morocco, they will probably, march troops through Tunis and so on and so forth. And for that, we kind of want to have a fort here to prevent them from ravaging our, Nile Delta, which is a quite expensive thing. Which is so, yes, we are going to build a fort in Cyrenaica to deal with that issue. Well, more or less, or they could also land forces, but we cannot do much again about that, so we'll just invest in that nonetheless. Now, we'll continue. We will, actually we already influenced them. I guess we can influence our allies here as well. That's pretty expensive. Sure. Okay, building up that trust. Now, let's cancel the Karaman guys. And what else? In my states, I know. Alright, we have a mission to buddy up to Hungary, so we'll be using one of our guys to improve relations there. Improve relations while we are building a spy network against the Ottomans, I think. We are planning on going to war with the spy network. There we go. So Ottomans are also at war with Bosnia and Serbia, who are also at war with Hungary. So there will be sort of a stalemate here. This is they will occupy half of the territory and so on. Standard way of going about this nonsense. So yeah, we just move around our forces to get the to deal with various uprisings and so on, and hope for the best. It's actually and we should definitely roll a few leaders now when we are. I'm actually not sure if being above 50 would help. I'm pretty sure it's every 20, so it's 40, 60, 80, and so on. Thus, it's between 4 and 12. They might have changed that in this patch, but I will pay attention next time. Let's see. Which one was it? Was it this one? No, we got this one. Okay, he's just terrible, so let's just kick him. Okay, this one's better. Much better. Okay, I'll take him. And we reached the next level of professionalism. We may now refill a garrison. I wonder what's that about. I imagine we can refill a garrison of a fort. Perhaps it will tell me somewhere here. Refill a garrison. Refill a local garrison with manpower from this army. Doesn't seem particularly useful. I mean, I guess, like, if you keep your forts mothballed and they start with no garrison, I guess it would make sense to, at some point, once every 50 games, to use like 5k of your army to put it in the garrison, but I mean, that's just bad. So yeah, there's that, right? And let's get our generals in order. You are this guy, so that's the combat one. Alright, so and now we basically want to. Okay, one more thing. We could want to influence, start influencing Yemen as well, but the problem is that they are pretty. That would be like another 50. We can afford it though, so perhaps we should. You guys, I guess, should, you know, do the whole protect trade. Oh, and another thing, you may remember that we were much higher than that earlier, not 27, but much higher, which is weird considering that we are getting all of trade power from Yemen, despite them being, you know, rowdy about it. That's because this is a foreign trade node, which means that we get negative modifier equal to our overextension percentage, which is pretty rough. So we will start getting more money soon enough. So actually, it doesn't apply here, I don't think. I'm not sure what constitutes a foreign node, which it would. I mean, perhaps since we are controlling it like literally here, that's that. Let's see Aleppo. Still not a foreign. Actually, control both. So perhaps it's simply, you know, owning the trade of not core, owning the trade of center yourself. But I mean, this one is owned by our allies, which seems like, you know, should be good enough. Our vassals. Yeah, let's keep an eye on those uprisings. So, Maldibari are all about the fire house. We are sending guys for Bejan. They will go with Beja, so those here, so this army will handle them. Alodia separatists, they will. Oh, they are pretty mean. Okay, so those here. I think we'll get another army there to reinforce that, and you guys, I guess, can reinforce this army. I think 2 armies will be enough to, you know, move around with it and crush those rebellions. Without much losses in terms of manpower, because, well, of course, we do need to keep our manpower high enough. And, well, that war against Ottomans will come soon enough, as you can see, because we are slowly but surely losing that plus 50. Another thing that we actually spend a lot of money now. But I'm thinking about, so what we're going to do is increase invest in that. Basically promote this advisor. It won't be expensive because his cost is significantly lowered, as you can see, by Mamluk government, which is minus 25, and by full innovation, as well as team administrators is an event bonus. So that will basically promote him to level 2. He will cost more monthly, but yeah, we kind of need those diplomatic points. There we go. And we can, for example, do the same with this guy later, which, you know, his thing is lowered twice because, well, he's lowered once by advisor cost, and then he's cheaper because he is, you know, he has been hired via the estate. Although, if I remember correctly, we were kind of planning on getting an inquisitor to deal with our raising hidden issues. So, well, we shall see. Okay, which one do we want? Our Jabal Eye. Yeah, you will do. 0.4 years. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can actually tell where the rebellion will actually show up. Let's see. So Massawa is the one that is mentioned first here, but it may be because you know, we are lowering the unrest here by, you know, having an army. I'm not quite sure. Okay, so we can... there's no point in doing that, I'm afraid. We can do that in Yazan, so let's start converting them, I guess. It's 100 months, that's a lot of time spent doing that. Okay, so they popped up here, and they are suffering from the terrain. They have no leader, so that should be easy now. But as you can see, they are more or less the same tech-wise to us, which is, you know, that's what happens. That's what makes them a problem constantly. And as you can see, we are suffering some noticeable casualties. Someday. Now, let's move to Soba, I guess. Let's just make sure that, yes, we're not going to take any attrition. What's next? Belgium, yeah, so those guys again. Missionaries wrapping up. Okay, so they invaded here a little bit. There were 25 here, so Ottomans transferred some of their forces. Let's see, they are actually winning, despite being occupied, which I guess, and despite not controlling the Wargle, so which means they won some battles, as Poland doing. At 0. About 0, and well, it's hard to tell. I mean, you could like decipher it. Okay, let's actually look at what the army is. So it's well, they suffered some casualties, but you can see they have 50k base. No, that's actually ours. They have more. Yeah, cavalry, and they do have 10k artillery already. I don't think that's worth it. The one that will help them in a battle, but overall I think it's better to have like in a pitched battle 2 versus 2 of the same size of the 50k. But overall I think it's better to basically have a bit like on this level of tech. It's not all that necessary. That being said, it's useful to have at least 1 cannon per army. For the sieging purposes. That will put us a little bit over the supply limit, but we can afford that. Okay, Belgian separatists. Okay, first cause. As you can see, there's a war here as well. Merchant influence is back to 79. Like back several episodes ago, I've taken there was an event that either gave me a bunch of tax, just base tax, for like 100 ducats, like 1 base tax in 5 provinces. But it would also give me, I think, 10% merchant influence. And it was of course tempting, but my merchant influence was already at 79. So I've taken actually a development cost hit and local revolt hit as just to get. Oh Jesus, not a. Okay, so this is actually better. So it was similar like that, but you got there was a base production here on this one, and there was and it increased the merchants' loyalty, and not only loyalty but also influence. And we basically couldn't afford influence. If you noticed in the last few episodes that it was all about the bloody merchants' influence, I'm really happy I haven't taken it then. Now, of course, there's another issue, which is so this is bad in two ways, because we will lose 15 loyalty. It's all right. I mean, but being under 50, under 40 loyalty will also give us additional 5 unrest in provinces in those provinces, which are basically provinces merchants own, which will result in plus 13, and we are not too hot on that as it is, as you can see. So because of overextension and such. Here, however, we can get local unrest, local tax modifier, but Merchants Guild gains influence by 10. So sadly we'll have to take that. Let's actually see those. I'm pretty sure something is about to expire, right? Yes, in 8. Okay, so advancement of merchant class is about to expire. So what we are going to do is take the first one and then give one of the provinces to the merchants. The ones that, we recalled, and hope that for the next 10 years or so we won't get another bloody event that will make us gain merchant influence, because this is annoying. I really hope that, that would be ideal if they also lost some influence, but... Alright. Let's wait, because it will pick the first one anyway. We can purchase an ability. I guess we get aggressive expansion impact, because the rest are... we'll get combat bonus in terrain of capital. Since, well, if we end up somehow fighting there, that's right. And it's not like we are suffering from aggressive expansion too much. Like no one has actually created a coalition against us, so I think we are good on that front. Wow, you actually control 5 centers of trade. Look at this. Far corner is 5 provinces. That's provinces with center of trade. So coastal or inland. That's for some reason, my mind had a break when I was talking about it in first episode, because that's not centers of trades instead, like Alexandria, Ethiopia, and so on, but those provinces with actual center of trade, which is of course much more doable. Now, we still may want to start a golden era, but I mean, I kinda want to start it, well, since it gives higher max absolutism, it's nice to start it at the beginning of the Age of Absolutism or at the end of the previous era. And if not, which, I mean, in all honesty, it's usually just best to start Golden Age earlier rather than later, because, well, later you will be most powerful person there is anyway. So, I mean, there's little point then. But I kind of want to have some powers saved up and to use, ready to use to benefit from that. So. Okay, so as I mentioned, we'll take that. We'll take that. So let's actually take this, I guess, because, well, the rest is pointless for us, and so this aggressive expansion would be useful, but we are not having much problems with that anyway. Okay, we are building spy network, so let's get those claims. What do you want to claim? Kibra, Sivas, and Teka. What? Why can we climb Teka? Okay, let's see. Kibras is Cyprus, alright, that makes sense, because it's, in the same season. I mean, problem with going to war over Cyprus is, well, we won't be able to. Okay, let's just take Teka, I say. Okay, so this is actually good, because that means that we would be able, if we take this whole thing for ourselves, because this is I looked into it earlier, this is a really good region, really good, state, as you can see. So it would be nice to actually take this and take this state. There's the states if we manage to, the bits of it, if we manage to actually win this war properly. And I'd rather take some coastal land rather than, a landlocked land, because to finish off Ottomans, we will need to get a proper navy, and that adds up. So those two states are our high on our goal list for the sake of actually building up a navy. Conversion successful. Now, do we? Yeah, let's just continue, converting our vassals' territory. Corruption is over 1 now. Are we on legalism? Not there yet, and going to war against Ottomans won't help there either. Should we start rooting out? I think we should start rooting out corruption. Let's just go with full force, that should help. Estate modifier, yes, Merchant Guild lost their influence as we've seen there. We've taken this, and now we need to give merchants a province. Easier to click here. So if we give them this one, that will actually put there to 40 and 77.8. So we are back to square one. Let's do this. There we go. And alright, Harar, Bejan, and Varasan, whatever. Let's see, actually. So Bejan are here. They are actually less like it will take them a while. That's, I guess, because we are actually standing here and slowing them down. Maybe we should just let them fire. Let's take a look. Intolerance, religious unity, separatists. So it's, more or less the same. Intolerance, religious unity, separatists. Legitimacy and positive stability are the positive ones. They increase the autonomy here. Okay, makes sense. We don't want to increase autonomy, I don't think. In a pinch, but I'd rather not. Alright, okay, so the rest of those Persian we know. Oh, you guys will be in somewhere here, right? Let's take a look at the... Yeah, let's move it here, since this is the most difficult. Most difficult terrain, so if they spawn here, we'll get bonuses. Now we can get this. Should we? Or will be? Are we going to start? We'll wait. Just in case we want to. Okay, so they've reconquered that, and okay, so this is just Crimea being eaten. Let's see if there are no additional wars. So Crimea. You guys are allied with Noga and Karaman. Ottomans, you are fighting that, and you are... okay, you're winning, but it's hard to tell due to what? You do control Albania, so that's, a good sign for you. It's 0, so I guess... Okay, let's actually take a look at their army. 33, so they haven't really lost much. Let's take a look at Polish army. This way. Poland. Oh. Holy shit, they got wiped. Not good. That doesn't look good at all. Wow. How'd that happen? Wow, I guess they... That general, well, at least they advanced to military level 6 now, but jeez. It doesn't bode well, so basically Ottomans are untouched as of right now. Are they sieging Moldova? Not yet. Probably sieging Serbia? Not sure what they're doing. I mean, they shouldn't be able to just cross to Poland, which makes this whole, because, you know, of the forts in Moldova, which makes the whole fact that Poland's army got wiped so much weirder. Maybe it was in the stacks, I don't know. I mean, the 5-shock general versus 1-shock general is pretty rough, and if they were at 5 to 7 in text, that's possible, but still. Pretty rough. Oh, right, there was a bloody rebellion. Oh, okay, thankfully it was, you know. Oh, but this rebellion is about to start as well. In like what, 4 months, so let's actually wait for this rebellion since. Oh, and Denmark pounced. Looking good for Poland, which was the most promising ally for us, I guess. Well, along with Hungary. Okay. Oh, we are trading in incense. Look at that. So this is good. Tolerance of true faith is basically lower unrest in provinces where we have where there are Sunnis. Let's actually look at trade bonuses. Okay, let's see our market share. So, oh, we are actually trading. I haven't seen that. We are trading in coffee as well, which I mean makes sense since we control Gulf of Aden and Ethiopia. Yeah. Pretty good on the grain, good actually, and this is a very good bonus. Like people don't consider grain to be an important resource, but because it's not very expensive. But you can, if you have some money to spare, you can usually fairly easily build up the amount you produce by building manufacturers, and this way you can get plus 20% land force limit modifier, which is great. So incense, the new one we got there, not bad at all actually. So Ming is producing a lot of incense, and Yemen of course is producing most of the coffee. They're actually producing a lot of cotton, global settler increase. If we decide to go for colonization a little bit, that may be useful. But I mean, we can get probably we can get that bonus for a time being in Africa and in India. But all in all, it's difficult it will be difficult to hold on to it once America gets developed a bit more. Okay, come on, I need that bloody rebellion here, because I don't have a core here. I don't have a fort here, so I don't want them to take it over. Oh, right, I've taken a bloody loan. Yeah, I was, fighting corruption. Well, I guess let's keep up to this. Thing. I guess it's time to lower, to reduce inflation. There we go. And come on, I want this rebellion to fire. Alright, what other rebellions do we have? So there will be a rebellion here, this rebellion, and this rebellion, and I guess rebellions there. And this one is not firing. Okay, we basically wanted to get rid of most of the rebellions before they... Okay, you know what? Let's just move it there. Persian, Varangasani, so those two are... Okay, so actually, so you will be And the rebellion will be in those two provinces. Okay, so you move there. So this is the one we are waiting for. Some Yemeni rebellions should be here, but I guess they will subside before they become too problematic, maybe, hopefully. And Adeni. Yeah, there's a lot of possible rebellions in Yemen, as you can see. Alright. Come on, fire this bloody rebellion. Okay, we need to deal with them. Let's actually do that. Okay, we finished with with most of the cores, thankfully. They are still at 60 something. Takes us ages to annex this vassal. We've been doing this for almost 3,000 days. Let's see. How much are we spending anyway? Not much. Oh, we're spending 3 per month, so it should be going much smoother. Okay, so Revel of the Rival finished. We can recall that. You guys can deal with them and then move there. Mission. Remove Ramazan from the map. Conquer Deghabu. Which is where? Yeah. Well. Not my first choice. Ramazan will probably go to war with, because, well, that will happen once we go to war against the Ottomans. Okay, so, well, Denmark isn't doing so great, at least. Hopefully Poland can get back on their feet, but if Ottomans simply decide to, take Albania and call it a day, or take bits of Serbia, then this war is not going to last too long, so we will end up not fighting with Ottomans anytime soon, and I don't think that's probably not the worst idea ever, considering that they don't have as much as a scratch on them. Scary stuff. Probably take it slow, but I don't want them I don't want them start eating bits and pieces of Poland, because that's not gonna end well. There's a reason we decided to stop them. Actually, what is the correlation between Poland and Hungary? They aren't rivals, but they aren't allies either. Yeah, so Poland is only allied with Saxony, about people. That's just weird. I mean, okay, that does make sense, because they have, what, 1, 2, 3. Oh. And Ottomans are actually sieging in. We'll need to probably risk an actual attack on them. Manpower to recover, Ramazan. Yeah, let's wait. I would kinda like to get, drilling going, but yeah. So there is this rebellion to deal with. That will be a Dalan, right? Yeah, Zila and Haragusa, whatever. Okay, let's deal with you. What? So actually, can we stay here? We can't. Good. So, because we want this to fire sooner rather than later again. Adalan, about 3 years, damn it. Alright, I kinda want this. Can I make it into a state now? I can. Let's do it. Yeah, okay, let's make it all. Of course, I would like to give this to merchants, but I can't, because that would put them just above the 80 limit. but yes, we will manage. Should I give it? Oh, okay. So I need to give someone to something to Lima. Well, I'd rather give something, you know, something with high base tax, or you know, considerably high. What is okay? Fire in Medina, admin power or legitimacy. Do we care about this legitimacy? We don't. I'd rather have admin power. Well, you have a mosque here, so I guess, yeah, let's give you to Lima. There we go. What are the... what is the autonomy here? 30, 40, 40... Yeah. Alright. Still can take that. Okay, we definitely don't need that, you know, that aggressive corruption reduction, so let's remove this. And what else? Also, that's Ajab and Tenura, okay, so that's another one here. And Ethiopia and Gonda, Moroccan in here for some reason. Alright, so because I think they managed to get it last time, and separatism raised. No, separatism is the same. Alright, you are Coptic and we haven't, we never got around to actually getting you there. Now, can you accept the culture? Hajazi we cannot, to between... what I wanted is Somali culture here. Oh, there's just 3% in the cause. How much do we need? Oh, basically we need... okay, so basically we need more development. This is a pretty expensive development. Oh man, yeah. So we'll probably need to make another core somewhere here. I mean, this is decent. But well, we cannot, so yes, that's probably going to be another core, or Mogadishu, probably, once we take it, or both. Well, this is decently developed, now when I think about it, so yeah, okay, we'll deal with that at some point. What was the other thing we can establish here? Idea cost, alright, we don't need it quite yet. Alright, we're out of time though, so I've gained the province, command the Great Advisor we employed died, which is... Oh, okay, so we had a guy that was giving us 5% discipline, and now we don't have one like that to choose. Neither we have one that is, you know, moral of armies or anything that relates to actual bloody combat. That's not good. I guess we can get the land force limits. Egyptians only. Okay, that being said, do we really want 2 military skill one? We are kinda swimming in military power as it is, so... Okay, I will decide between the episodes, because we are out of time, and yeah, in more than one way. So, thanks for watching guys, and I will see you next time. Cheers!